This is Mr. Hanna. Welcome to What the Format. Today we're going to talk about multiplying fractions. Now, one big mistake I see a lot of students make. When you multiply fractions, the denominators don't need to be the same. The common denominator is only when you're adding or subtracting fractions. Now that's something you need to be very careful of and pay attention to. Adding and subtracting rules are often different than the multiplying and dividing rules. And if you get those mixed up, you're going to have a hard time with math. Get a lot of answers wrong. So, notice how you've been using the dot. That's because in algebra they use the dot for multiplication instead of the little x because it could be confused with the variable x. So to avoid any confusion, we use this. Now the first thing you do when you multiply fractions is check diagonally to see if these numbers have anything in common. If they don't, then you proceed by multiplying straight across. So 7 times 5 is 35, 9 times 6 is 54. Now, if you check for what was in common first and they had nothing in common, once you multiply, you are done. Well, what do you mean by that, Mr. Hanna? What if they don't have having things in common? Well, let's change this up a little bit and do 4 over 9 times 5 over 8. Okay, 5 and 9 don't have anything in common. 4 sure do. 4 and 8 sure do. Okay, this is 4 times 1, and this is 4 times 2. So the 4's can cancel out because 4 divided by 4 is 1. And remember, when you're multiplying anything by 1 simply keeps the number the same. So this is what's called cross-canceling. Okay, now we can multiply across with what's left. We have 1 times 5 is 5, and 9 times 2, which is 18. And we're done. Okay, now, Mr. Hanna, what if I forget to cross-cancel or have trouble with it? Well, let's watch how that would work then. If you don't cross-cancel first, and you multiply straight across, 4 times 5 is 20, 9 times 8 is 72. But this is not in simplified form. Most teachers, if you circle this as your answer, they're going to take points off. Some might take all the points off for the problem. You can use 0 credit even though you did the problem mostly right. Okay, well, what are you talking about mostly right, Mr. Hanna? Well, let's see. 20 is 4 times 5, and 72 is 4 times 18. See how the 4's can cancel? So you can cancel the 4's here or here. Now, I personally think it's easier when the numbers are smaller. I can see that 4 and 8 have 4 in common a lot easier than seeing 20 and 72 have 4 in common. These are bigger numbers, they're not as familiar. 4 and 8, much more familiar. Now, notice that we're still going to get 5 over 18. So you're going to get the same answer either way, but the bigger these numbers get, I think the harder it is to find what they have in common. Now, you could just say, oh, these have 2 in common. Reduce it, so that's 10 over 36. Oh, they have 2 in common again, 5 over 18. So you could reduce twice, that works. And if you're in a pinch, especially on a testing situation, and you can't really see that, for whatever reason you couldn't see the cross cancel, doing it in steps like that's okay too. Just be aware that a lot of teachers won't accept that. They'll mark it wrong. So you want to try to do it the cross cancel way if possible. But if you have to do it this way to get the right answer because it's more comfortable with you, maybe go talk to your teacher about that. Make sure they understand why you're doing this. Some teachers will be okay with that, some won't. But at least if you've talked to the teacher, then you've done everything you can, and at least you know you're going to get the right answer, even if maybe the teacher doesn't like it. And ultimately, that's the whole goal, is getting the right answer, because your teachers are going to change over the years, and what they want is going to change. The biggest thing for you is just to get more comfortable with math and find a way that works for you. But again, once you find a way that works for you, that's great. But if you can, try to follow the conventional way. I do highly recommend that because it will make your life easier when dealing with other mathematicians. Anyway, hopefully this helps with multiplying fractions. Again, remember, no common denominators needed. Okay? And when you cross cancel, it's diagonally that you cross cancel. And sometimes you can do it both ways. This could have been 3 over 8, and then 3 and 9 would have had something in common. So you cancel both ways if they can, or if they can't, you don't cancel, and then you multiply across when you're done. Remember to multiply across, don't multiply diagonally. I've seen students do that. They've gotten confused on that whole cross canceling. So just make sure you divide out, cross cancel diagonally if you can. Once that's done, like here we checked for it, you couldn't do it, then just multiply straight across. That's your answer. Like I said, if you don't cross cancel, you'll just have to remember to simplify at the end. Anyway, hopefully this helps with multiplying fractions. Again, practice. Try a bunch of problems, come back and forth to the video. It might be that I might have to make a couple more videos with other problems because maybe the fractions, that you're dealing with, the numbers are a lot bigger, scarier. and you need a little help with that. If so, just let me know. Email me at whattheformat@hotmail.com and send me a picture of the problem that you're dealing with, and I can do a video on it, which should help you out. And the more we go over it, hopefully at some point, like I said, it'll click, and then math won't be as scary, and you'll be able to do the things you need to do. And with these 3 videos, adding, subtracting fractions, multiplying fractions, remember these are math skills. They're not math facts, they're math skills. They make use of your math facts. They're used in a lot of problems, but they're not either the easiest part or the hardest part, but you use it all the time when you're solving math problems to get from what you're given to the final answer. So math skills, you need to have these. Anyway, hopefully this helped. Thank you for watching What the Format. This is Mr. Hanna. Happy mathing.